their perennial all-star. The last time a UFV team graduated a real 5-year stud, we saw Sarah Weirks go down in a playoff series at home to the Regina Cougars in a tearful effort where the Cascades were denied their opening round playoff matchup. For a quick deuce, it's Brianna Galli's turned away, and the Cascades give up a turnover to start things off. There's Seabrook herself, the aforementioned senior. Galli and now Bobby Jo Colburn on the left hand, driving inside, makes herself some space off the glass, and the Cascades are going to have to deal with that post strength for the Calgary Dinos. This season, second in rebound margin in Canada West, 42.1. Sorry, that's rebounds per game, 42.1 rebounds per game for the Calgary Dinos. Working on a little bit of a zone there, and the Cascades fifth in Canada West with 40.1. Sid Williams open for three. It's no good off the back iron, and Seabrook has it in front of Claggett. Looks like Galli took a spill inside, up and over, and no good there for the Dinos and Anmol Matu. That's Manny Doulay's first cousin. Manny Doolay, your number 3 all-time three-point shooting men's Canada West basketball star, and Cascades' 5th year this season. Manny Doulay's first cousin, his mother's brother's daughter, Anmol Matu. And here she is with the ball inside to Seabrook, posting up on Littman, turns around, the little hook is good. It's more of a float, and the Cascades down a pair of buckets, 8.5 left in this first quarter early. Sarah Simovic gets out of the trap from Matu and Aaron McIntosh. And there's something to watch is Sarah Simovic, how she's grown into this point guard role. If you've been following the Cascades men's side, you'll have seen what's gone on earlier today and yesterday in Winnipeg, UFV and the men. Coach Friesen splitting the first 2 games in Winnipeg, and point guard play so important for the Cascades in the last 5 minutes of the first game, taking care of the ball and being the quarterback, ensuring that everybody's moving, ready to get that ball, ready to make some space, something that Sarah Simovic's really gotten comfortable doing this year. Jim Servo and Coach Jennings having a long extended conversation well into the inbound play, and the Cascades another offer on the offensive side. McIntosh baseline riding through the lane, and it's a travel, so it'll go the other way. The Cascades catch a break, 8 left in the first. A foul against the Dinos, what Jennings was not happy with, and Sarah Simovic will have to dig herself out of the full court press with Matu. Claggett near shoulder with Galli. Bounce pass to Shayna Littman at the top of the key. Shayna Littman, a breakout last 4 games. Here, top of the key for the 2 is no good, and Claggett driving inside with Galli. That long rebound comes out to Matu. Here on Simovic. Lauren Seabrook, and it looks like that's 3 in the key against Lauren Seabrook, the North Vancouver, BC native and former UBC Thunderbird. Giving the Cascades some slack. Matu coming over half court with Simovic. Here's Claggett now looking in on Galli, and she's got Shayna Littman again. Top of the key, doesn't take that look. Switches feet, doesn't get the travel call. Claggett posting up on Galli off the glass, high little lay-in, and that's not going to drop early for Taylor Claggett. Here all alone is McIntosh. Simovic avoids the foul call. Probably could have done with a whistle. With the Cascades able to stave off a 3-possession deficit, or a 2-tray deficit early. Seabrook hits the bench, so does McIntosh coming in. It's Bree Wilcox and it's Chanel Henzuk. Galli, Henzuk looks inside. Wilcox turns around to the right hand, and it's good. 6-0 with under 7 to play in the first, and Taylor Claggett's got to inbound that ball before 5 seconds expires. She does. Simovic with a strong full-court press from Matu and Galli, and she's got a second, makes it over half court. A lot of time eating off that clock for that possession. Littman inside to Claggett, gets the inside roll, and a foul charge to Wilcox turning around. So Claggett will shoot 2. And that's his second foul against the Dino in the quarter. Cascades haven't been charged with a personal foul yet. Sartori will take a seat, and Amanda Thompson comes in. And Coach has some words of encouragement, words to the wise for Kaylee Sartori. In what could be the penultimate game. It could be the third to last game of her Canada West career. It could be the last series of her Canada West career. If the Cascades are not victorious, they're down 6-0 early. 6:35 left to play. The first free throw misses, and the second free throw misses from Taylor Claggett. Luckily for Claggett, Amanda Thompson and Bree Wilcox fighting for that board. It's off of Wilcox, and Simovic will inbound. You're going to get Sid Williams coming on the near side, and there's Shayna Littman at the top of the key. Bounce pass for Simovic. Crossed her right up, out of bounds. Turnover Cascades. And that was the problem in the first half of the Cascades Friday game against UBCO is turnovers. UFE thought they were getting past the turnover trouble, and Taylor Claggett rips it right away from Michal Asaf. And Sarah Simovic keeps her dribble while she trips. Amanda Thompson gets a pass around the ankles, picks it up. Here's Taylor Claggett with 12. Simovic down low to, looks like that's Littman, right under the backboard, and just hit the bottom of that board. Littman scored 40 points between the Saturday and Friday night competitions versus Victoria and then UBCO over the past 2 weeks. 40 points on the Saturday and Friday night combined. Assaf out to Hanzuk. A long bounce, out of bounds, Cascade possession. Under 6 to play, UFV still has not scored. Shayna Littman takes a seat, and you know she wants to pound that paint right now. She doesn't want to hit that bench. Shayna Littman's such a competitor. We talked about senior night last week with Kaylee Sartori, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say, based on Shayna Littman's Saturday night emotion, I wonder if she's going to be coming back next year. I speculate injuries would keep her from contributing a full season. If she did not come back next year, and that would be a huge blow for this Cascade program, not to have Shayna Littman in her 5th year. 3 on the shot clock. Sartori at travel. Turnovers. 6-0 Calgary. I mean, the Cascades haven't scored, but 6 buckets in about 4.5 minutes. Coach Jennings, he'll take it, but he'd like to score. Cascades a better shooting team, I mentioned off the top. 3-point percentage from the Dinos. Dead last, 17th in Canada West, 23.5%. The Cascades 13th, 28.6%. Hands. So that's Assaf into the corner for Hanzuk. In and out of the bucket. Gali with the rebound in front of Sid Williams. Great job by Brianna Gali. And turning the corner, McIntosh is fouled. She will shoot 2. Calgary native. Took a couple seconds onto that pine and then back into the game. She can make it an 8-0 run to start things off for the Dinos. And Coach Al will take a timeout before 3 rebounds per game, nearly a double-double, 6th in Canada West in rebounds. And again, that size advantage, of the Calgary Dinos and just their tough paint play so far, keeping the Cascades out of it. Nothing down low, dropping for Shayna Littman, for Taylor Claggett, and I don't know how many other Cascades have hit inside looks. But definitely nothing's gone down. It's 6-0, and both free throws missed by McIntosh. Cascades another break with Victoria Jacobs. Speaking of the Kate Head sophomore vacuum, that she was a great rookie season as a point guard last year for the Cascades, losing Celeste Dick, their previous point guard, in her 5th year. Sid Williams for 3. Can she get the Cascades rolling? She can, and just like that, it's a 6-3 game. Keep getting stops on D, and a team like the Cascades can get back in a game real quick. Hanzuk, bounce pass inside. Wilcox sends it out to Gali, comes in, and Sid Williams picks up the board, stopped by Amanda Thompson. Kaylee Sartori going into Wilcox, turns around for Thompson at the top of the key. Now Victoria Jacobs filling in a lot of those point guard minutes for the Cascades. You see now Sarah Simovic not on the court. And that's a 3-point foul. The second foul charged to Bree Wilcox. Defending Kaylee Sartori deep on the perimeter. We saw Manny Dooley on the men's team again in Winnipeg last night in a losing effort. He took 6 free throws on 2 3-point fouls. Both 3 points he missed. And Kaylee Sartori, the first free throw for the Cascades. They're now 1 for 3 after the 2 Claggett misses, and only down a pair. Second free throw is good. And Sartori can tie it up just like that. Despite the turnover troubles. Cascades right into this first quarter, and all power to the Cascades for not giving up a more significant deficit. We're now 6 minutes into the game. 12 points scored between these two teams. We really had it out in Calgary 2 months, or not even, a month ago. Hands up. Turned away by Kaylee Sartori. The steal, driving inside the three-point line, out to Williams for three, no good. And almost coming up with that board was Victoria Jacobs. But it's going to be a foul on Jacobs, loose ball foul. Seabrook was battling with her. Matu's back in. Hansuk takes a seat. And the Dinos start back from square one. 3 minutes and 35 seconds left in this first quarter. Assaf. Seabrook. And now McIntosh waiting for Matu to come around. She has between the circles on the right hand, in and out of the three-point line. Passes to Gali, and here's Assaf. Drives inside, steps into Amanda Thompson. The help defense and the switch pays off for the Cascades. That's in the turnover for the Dinos. 3:20 left to play. The Cascades have 2 fouls against them. It's one to Simovic, one to Jacobs. And we'll see how Jacobs deals with this full court press. She showed great defense last week against UBCO. She showed poise from the three-point line. Here's Claggett now at the elbow. The handoff to Thompson, gets around the Sartori screen and just hands the ball over to Aaron McIntosh before a travel is called. 3:06 left in this first quarter. Now Amanda Thompson, of course, coming over from the WJ Mowat program, coached by her mother, Paula Thompson, who obviously also coached the other WJ Mowat players, which include Kaylee Sartori. Brianna Gali inside on Sid Williams, and Williams did a great job to try and deny and not to foul, but that shot drops for Gali, and here's Jacobs up to the three-point line with Matu pushed back. Under 3 to play now in the first quarter. Cascades down a pair. Thompson inside to Sartori, posting up on McIntosh, tries to get a pass, skipped away, and it's turned over. Here's Matu, steps back at the three-point line. McIntosh, left hand, inside, pass Sartori off glass, and Claggett with a rebound in front of Seabrook. Great box out, and a foul now against McIntosh. Unhappy with herself. That's the 4th team foul against the Dinos, and the Cascades have a possession to tie things up. Thompson and Claggett hit the pine. Littman and Jessica Zawada step in. Zawada's three-point shooting has been effective lately for the Cascades. And 2 rookies now on the court for UFV against this powerful, and again, a team with the size advantage in the Calgary Dinos. Sartori posting up with Matu. Triple team. Zawada for 3. Wide open look. Off the back iron, and Sartori, that's Sid Williams. A, should have been charged for a foul. B, it looked like that was a Calgary ball. C, Cascades come away with a no foul called. 2:04 left to play. Cascades down 2 in this first quarter. 8-6, low score. Shayna Littman at the free throw line, trying to post up. Maybe got away with a travel there on Seabrook and an air ball. She tried to turn around for the fader. Simovic will come back in, so Sid Williams, she did not touch that ball, and Brianna Gali, according to the Zebras, Brianna Gali did. She's not happy with it, but UFV comes away with another possession due to turnover. I want to see what those numbers look like after 10 minutes. Simovic, the bounce pass to Sartori. Looking her way inside, going away from the bucket. She's fouled. Looks like that'll be Seabrook. Sartori has a chance to tie it up for the second time from the free throw line. First was to make it from 6-3 to 6-6. Now it's 8-6. You can make it 8-8 on this 5th foul of the first quarter. That one is on Seabrook. Minute 45 left to go in the first 10. Sartori hits for her 4th point of the night. All from the line. Other 3 points for the Cascade coming on a Sid Williams triple. Second free throw to tie it up at 8 is good. Kaylee Sartori, 5 for 5 from the line, and I don't think that's been the case the entire season. The entire Cascades team having troubles from the free throw line. If you look at the statistic as a team, they're 13th in Canada West, and that's cost them some games. Freya Schmidt in the game, and good look for McIntosh. Shayna Littman rips down the board right on top of her. Sid Williams gets it up to Zawada, who has to wait for it like a J-hook. Sartori, 16 on the shot clock. Here's Simovic with Matu, looking for Sartori on the high block with... That was Shannon Hatch, and the tray ball from Simovic doesn't drop. Littman chases down a long board. Zawada baseline, kicks it out to Williams. Touch pass to Simovic. She's been watching some Cav games, and it's still Cascade ball. 6 on the shot clock, under a minute to go. Yeah, watching Cav games? The touch pass from Williams? Looking at some LeBron action, yeah? No? Okay, all right. I've been having an ongoing argument with men's coach Adam Friesen. Simovic, 2 seconds left, doesn't hit the rim, gets backboard only. Friesen and I have been arguing, is LeBron James a good passer even? And I say, of course, he's a spectacular passer. He just this year is developing a new method of pass that teams are having to work around and learn to adjust to and adapt to. Friesen doesn't buy it. McIntosh in the right hand, inside and out of the three-point line. And Matu, with under 40 to play, a long rainbow doesn't drop. Schmidt out to Colburn, misses that tray. And here's Sartori with 20 seconds on the shot clock. Hands it off to Simovic, defended by Hatch. A Swiss. You see the advertisement for the Cascade. Former business manager for the Cascade, Jennifer Trithard Tufts, now in Switzerland on a UFV exchange. And we welcome the Swiss, Shannon Hatch. I want to call her a Swede because it's S-U-I, but it's Swiss. 3 seconds left on the shot clock. 7.4 in the first quarter. Simovic to Sartori for the lead. No. And Sartori, a delayed foul call on Anmol Matu. And I hope Manny Dule is watching in Winnipeg, taking notes, preparing for a Game 3 matchup. And hopefully he'll have some feedback to Kaylee Sartori for that late foul on his dear cousin. Matu on the left hand, over half court to the free throw line. The shot is no good. Air ball. 16 points for the Dinos. And committed 5 fouls in that quarter. 3 boards apiece for Matu and Seabrook. Little big buddy, little buddy. That's what we used to call Nate Brown and Don Brooks, the men's team. Zawada inside for Littman, has some space on Schmidt. Off glass. My favorite thing to say, grows fingernails, climbs over the rim, drops down. Cascades up 10-8, their first lead tonight after going down a quick 6-0 and tied up again. I believe that was Shannon Hatch. Simovic shakes and bakes on Matu, gets inside, off glass, no good. Littman gets the board from over the back of Schmidt, and it looks like that's going to be an over-the-back foul against Shayna Littman, and Schmidt looks like she may be, well, she is in some discomfort, if not pain. Opening 34 seconds of this second quarter, and both teams have scored a bucket. Cascades with their first foul of the quarter. That's against Littman for 3. It's no good. McIntosh picks up the rebound from the Colburn miss. Golly on the left hand, inside of the elbow to McIntosh under the bucket. Matu for 3. It's no good, and Golly was down in the box ready for a closer board. It's out of bounds, and the Cascades will take possession with 9:04 left in the half. Zawada takes his seat. Claggett steps in. Sartori inbounds to Simovic with an easy press from Matu this time. Sartori to Claggett near shoulder on Galley. Bounce pass to Littman right in front of Hatch. Turns around for Sartori. Inside the three-point line for 2. In and out of the bucket. Galley outlets to Matu. Back for Galley for 3. It's good. Brianna Galley, this team's leading scorer with 12.1 per game. She's got 5 now in the opening 12 or so minutes. Sartori over half court. Cascades down 3. And a foul charged to Galley off the ball. This is the second foul call that she's kind of miffed at. Both called by Jim Servo. Sid Williams checks in for Sartori. Simovic to Littman. Handoff back to Simovic between the circles on Matu. The screen from Littman, and that's a foul on Matu. A little too anxious to get through that screen. Bounce back into Simovic on the other side. So Colburn will defend the inbound from Thompson. Simovic now in front of Matu on a reach. Simovic with a push off of Matu, and she's called for it. She knows it right away. And I even see a smirk on Coach Al's face. He likes the aggression. That's Simovic's second, and foul trouble for Sarah Simovic, not a recipe for success if you're a UFV Cascade fan. Inside Colburn, out to Hatch. Amanda Thompson on the floor, back out to Matu, fakes the shot, behind the back on Simovic, and Simovic, her third personal foul. This time she can't believe it. Last time she knew it. And here's Kaylee Sartori to relieve the point guard. Simovic, frustrated with herself, frustrated with how things are going right now. Cascade's down 3, and it's an inbound for Brianna Gali and the Dinos. Matu to Colburn, and here's Hatch. Jumper, no good. Sartori with the board, and the Cascades want to put some points up behind the loss of their point guard with her 3 fouls. Almost, I wouldn't call it almost a turnover, but some missed ball handling there for Sid Williams and Kaylee Sartori. Littman, Claggett, top of the key. Thompson looks up for 3 and puts it on the floor. Littman under the bucket. Off high glass, gets her own board, puts it up again. No go, and again, the Dinos post really shutting the Cascades down under the bucket, and then it looks like Thompson and Sartori kind of got their feet crossed up with one another. Thompson smacked into Sartori accidentally, smacked into Anmol, and that's the 4th Cascade foul of this second quarter. We're only 2 minutes and 1/2 into it. Anmol to Colburn on the left hand, trying to make some space back to Matu. And then from McIntosh to Matu again. Gali under the 3-point line. Matu on the right hand steps back for 3 from Hatch. It's no good off the iron and backboard. Putting it back up. Gali, no good again. Hatch. And finally, Taylor Claggett pulls down the Shannon Hatch miss. I think that was her second shot of the 4-attempt possession for the Dinos. Claggett to Sartori, 14 on the shot clock. UFV still only down 3 with all those opportunities. And Littman, talk about a number of opportunities. That's her 3rd shot in a row down under the bucket that doesn't drop, and she's frustrated now. McIntosh, the left, the right. Let's not see a frustration foul, say Cascade fans. And Matu under the bucket to Shannon Hatch, and it's good for 2. A 5-point lead for the Dinos here in the second quarter. Taylor Claggett over half court for UFV. Swings it around. Amanda Thompson fakes the shot, makes some space. High glass, no good. Claggett boards, goes up with it, and she's fouled. That's the 3rd Dino foul of the second quarter. It goes against Bobby Jo Colburn. And Coach Jennings needs a timeout. They're 10th in rebounding margin. So a team that's in the top 3rd of rebounding in the conference is still first free throw good for Claggett. It's 15-11. Despite being the top 3rd in the conference in rebounding, they are in the bottom half in rebound margin. And I'd like to say that I think that means that they force a lot of misses on offense and also give up a lot of offensive rebounds. That one didn't need a rebound. Brianna Gali good for 2, and the full court press is on from Calgary. McIntosh with Sartori and a 5-point lead. Claggett hit both free throws. Sartori with hands hook and picks up her dribble to Sid Williams. Here's Assaf. Bounce pass to Hanshook, all alone. Misses the lane. Hatch fouled by Claggett, no call, and Taylor Claggett picks up the D board. Now all the way in head from Sartori to Williams. She wanted to take that 3, thought better of it. There were no rebounders for UFV. Sartori out to Thompson for 3 from Amanda Thompson, no good. And a good box out from Aaron McIntosh. 5:14 left to go in the second quarter. Hanzuk stepping in on Thompson. Out to Golly for three. It's good. Brianna Golly with her second triple of the night. And a turnover. The Cascades give it away on the other side. Brianna Golly forcing it out of bounds off the Cascades. It's 2012 UF. Jacobs, Williams, Sartori, and Thompson with Taylor Claggett, the lone post. Call Sartori a wing. Amanda Thompson is a wing too. Assaf, the cross on Thompson, steps into Jacobs. Back for Hanzuk. Inside, trips up a little bit, rolls around on the baseline, and the Cascades have a stop. Assaf with Jacobs. Here's Williams. Handoff for a little heave to Sartori, turned around to Jacobs at the free throw line, and Taylor Claggett was eaten up in the low blocks, couldn't get a board. Here's Golly with Jacobs, out to Hanzuk for three, it's no good, an air ball. Claggett tries to get to it in front of Aaron McIntosh, who has another offensive board for Calgary. Hanzuk inside and out, fouled by Victoria Jacobs, or it's going to be Sid Williams, her first. And the Cascades in the bonus now. Hanzuk will shoot two. Up 8 with 4:16 left to go in the second quarter. Again, Calgary Dinos and UFE Cascades split in January. Are those Dino socks? They are Dino socks. They have Dino socks. I want me some Cascade socks. Misses the second free throw after hitting the first is Hanzuk, and here's Sartori with Hanzuk, back to Claggett over half court, steps into Golly and shakes off Sid Williams, turns around for Sartori, she's covered by Hanzuk, but the bounce pass to Sartori works. Now back to Claggett, off the glass, fouled by Hanzuk, and Taylor Claggett gets to the line. That is the fourth Dino foul, so no team with fouls to give. It's the first to Hanzuk, under 4 to play in the second quarter. First free throw is good for Claggett. Puts it up real quick. 8-point Dino game. Claggett can make it 7. Cascades are not going to look for a board here. But Amanda Thompson, the only Cascade with 3 Dinos in the box, almost cut it loose. Assaf to Hanzuk in the corner. Back to Hanzuk, or to Assaf under the bucket. Victoria Jacobs, clean block. Assaf sliding on her stomach. Shakes it off to Golly. Inside is McIntosh. A lot of contact, no call. Sartori driving in on Hanzuk. Assaf, and it's good. The finger roll. Sartori with her first field goal of the night. Golly now up 6. A three-pointer for her. It's good. Brianna Golly, 3 for 3 from deep. That might be 3 for 4. But give her, I'm going to say 13 on the night. Claggett posting up on Hatch. Assaf for the board in front of Williams, and McIntosh off and running. 3:05 left to go in the half. Williams swipes, doesn't make that contact for a foul. Golly again for 3, no good. When you're hot, you're hot, and Taylor Claggett has that board in front of McIntosh. McIntosh commits a quick little foul. Claggett will shoot another 2. One for 2 last time down the line. Checking in for the first time is Mazanga Kwalanga, former Lakehead University. I'm going to say they're the Thunderwolves. They are Lakehead Thunderwolves. Not to be confused with the UNBC Timberwolves. They are different. 1 for 2 is Claggett for the second trip to the line in a row. Under 3 to play here. 8-point Dino lead. Hatch to Golly, and here's Assaf into the corner for Kwalanga. Assaf for 3. She was open, and she drains it. An 11-point Dino lead, and the Cascades in danger of digging themselves a nice little hole to go into the second half, trying to climb out of. Matu back into the game, defending on Sartori. Bit of a mismatch. She goes into Taylor Claggett, posting up with Hatch. And that's a travel against Taylor Claggett, and she doesn't believe it. Dinos want a timeout. difficult to find any successful ball movement for the Cascades right now. And Coach Jennings has had success against UFV and against Coach Al in particular, running the passes off the wing. They haven't been forcing turnovers today that way. A little bit of a zone for the Cascades now. Matu through to Assaf, the right hand. Jacob swiped at it, and such a soft finish inside for Michal Asaf. Sartori bounce pass to Taylor Claggett, loses the handle, picks it back up. Sartori almost travels, then charges on Assaf. And call that a moving block. So Sartori will shoot 2, catches a break as Assaf hit the ground hard. And she seems like she knows it, giving a high five to Jim Servo. Looks like he was just putting up his hands and she thought he was looking for a 5. Sartori misses the first free throw. Cascades have missed now 6 free throws all day. 4 of them in this quarter. Both free throws there from Sartori and 2 in 2 consecutive trips of Taylor Claggett going 1 for 2 earlier. Under 2 to play in the second quarter in this first half now. Assaf and Matu. On the left hand, gets through the Sid Williams screen, back out to Assaf, and here's Gali. We'll skip down to Ikwalanga on the baseline, steps on the baseline, and with 1:28 left to go and 3 on that shot clock, the Dinos turn it over. Minute and a half or so. The Cascades aren't going to tie this up before the half, but they can at least bring it down to maybe a 10-point lead or less. Jacobs with Matu. Claggett posting up on Hatch. That's been a good matchup for the Dinos so far. Thompson for 3, kind of chucks it up to get it over Ikwalanga's outstretched hand, and back to Thompson from Williams on the rebound. Sartori taking her time with 8 on the shot clock, and a long baseball pass directly to Anmal Matu. Gali fakes the pass and then goes right down to the rim with a finger roll. 31-16, the Dinos starting to run away in the second quarter on UFV. All Brianna Gali and some post D from the Calgary Dinos shutting UFV down. 8 points per quarter through 2. We got 47.8 left here in the second, and Sartori inbounds to Jacobs, gets through the screen and barely had her hands up. Back to Sartori. Shakes off Assaf now to Sid Williams. Drop the ball, put it up for 3, no good. Out of bounds, Cascade give up possession on the rebound. It's 36.5 left for the Dinos in the second with 15-point lead. Doubling up the Cascades essentially at this point. Anmal can take her time confidently, knowing that the Cascades will have a tough journey ahead of them in the second half here. Assaf, beautiful. If you're going to give her space, she's going to score, and if you're not going to give her space, she may still score. Sartori knows what that's like once in a while. More of a slash and crash kind of inside scorer Sartori is, without that size advantage for Assaf. It's a great job with the soft touch. 2.1 left to go in the second quarter. Seeing her first minutes is Hillary Anich, former Mount Royal Cougar, member to that program. Sartori to Claggett. Gets the shot off before the buzzer, and positive note. Cascades down 15. They scored 10 in that second. Winning, 2012-13 season on their quest to achieve a national bronze. The Cascades did again in 2 games sweep this Calgary Dino team here in the Envision Athletic Center. The Dinos looking to take their first ever playoff win in Abbotsford away from the Cascades with a 15-point lead here. And Sarah Simovic back on the court for the Cascades after 3 first-half fouls. Almost 3 first-quarter fouls, really. Early in the second quarter, she got knocked out with her second and third personal charges. A touch pass from Williams to Littman, and that's the second time she's done so. Littman, the jumper, no good. And here's Matu, who's done a brilliant job replacing Christy Shields as the point guard of note for the Calgary Dinos. Beautiful move, and she's all smiles here at home in the valley. Kaylee Sartori for 2, count it, send it to the line. Matu from Richmond, BC. But of course, as I mentioned earlier, the cousin of UFV Cascades point guard and 3rd overall Canada West 3-point scorer all time, Manny Dulé. First cousins. Manny's mother's brother's daughter. 2 points at the free throw, the and one for Kaylee Sartori at the free throw line. Aaron McIntosh will check out. Bobby Joe Colburn will come back in. It's Colburn, Assaf, Gali, Matu, and Hatch for the Dinos. Cascades with their starting 5. Hatch back for Colburn. The left hand gets into Kaylee Sartori. Great job by Sartori not to get called for the foul. Didn't look like she was completely up and down. Little bit of the angled action there with her hands up in the air, but no call, out of bounds. Gali, air ball, gets her own board on the air ball, and the Cascades cannot get a defensive rebound to save their lives right now. 3 on the shot clock, and Colburn drains it. Her first triple of the night. 0 for 2 in the first half, and the Cascades down 15 after whittling it down to 12. Claggett with Assaf, and then into the corner for Simovic, and Sartori kept backing up as that long board was coming to her. Eventually she got it. Baseball pass to Williams, a short air ball. Claggett gets the board, fouled, center to the line. I called the credit union. I said, look, we'd really like to advocate or lobby for some more Cascades glass buckets here in the second half, and here they've obliged. My letter of reference was suitable for Taylor Claggett. She will shoot 1. She's 4 for 8 so far tonight from the line. It's good. 5 for 9, and the Cascades maybe right back into it. Maybe not. Still a 12-point lead for the Dinos. Out of bounds. The Cascades a big break, and they can make it as few as a 10-point lead for the Dinos. As few as 9, and potentially if they score a field goal, then a 2-point lead. Sorry, a 10-point lead. Williams. Ball fake on Colburn, and here's Sartori. Claggett. Bounce pass through Gali to Sartori at the elbow. She just sets up for that jumper. It's no good, and the Cascades can't get anything down on the bucket. Gali steps into Williams. Out to Colburn. Now Assaf cross to Matu. Far shoulder. Gali finds some space but picks up her dribble on the twist off of Williams, and a shot clock violation. Is that a shot clock violation? The clock is showing 0 right now. And they're going to give a fresh shot clock to Calgary. I heard Coach Al saying good job. Sounded like it was a 24. But with 7:50 left to go, it's another Dinos possession. Hatch back to Gali, driving baseline, reverse, good. Brianna Gali, 17 points. Sartori with the handoff from Simovic. Here's Littman, mid-range, a little short. Sartori, one hand corrals the rebound, jump ball, Cascade possession. 7:32 left to go, and things getting a little out of control for the Cascades. A lot of contact down there, no calls. I'm sure it was equal contact on both sides. It's basically a Hail Mary going up for that rebound. And Sartori will tie her shoe on the baseline. Cascades will have 14 seconds on the shot clock. Sartori looking for Williams, and Simovic on the near side with Matu. Littman trying to post up, gets around Colburn. She feels like she got knocked in the head. Simovic for 3, no good. Williams collides with Simovic, trying to pick up the loose ball, and Anmal commits the foul unwittingly. That's the 3rd foul against the Dinos in this quarter, the 2nd in the game against Matu. 7:22 left to go in the 3rd, and Simovic with Matu. Sartori, I don't know, it looked like that got knocked away from her, or she tried to dribble behind her back. Either way, it's a turnover. Colburn onto the bucket, no good. Littman, with the rebound, and it's going to be off on the Dinos. 7:09 left in the 3rd. Sartori inbounds to Simovic. The full court press lets up around the 3-point line. Simovic, Claggett, covered by Gali, who just barely avoids making a foul. Knocked away from Sartori by Assaf. What a valuable guard she's proving to be tonight. Colburn, no good, turned away. The second attempt, no good from, I think that was Hatch. Loose ball on the ground. Jump ball's going to go Dino away. Shayna Littman got a hand on that ball, crouching over Colburn, and Colburn is getting knocked around pretty good on this court. She's got, I'm sure, some words for the officials. And she stood up to it well. Matu, the third year. Oh, Hatch. All alone down low. Couldn't put the left-handed hook through. And the Cascades down 14, 6.5 to play in the third. Sartori's going to take it right to the bucket. Goes up and is fouled. Looks like that'll be Gali who gets called for it. And it's Colburn. Her third. Fourth team foul against the Dinos, and the Cascades, I hesitate to say, but they may be the recipients of some home court officiating here in the second half, although that couldn't have been said for the first half. Kaylee Sartori misses another free throw. Cascades 9 for 15 in the first half from the charity stripe. The second free throw from Sartori is good. 13-point Dino lead, looking to take their first playoff victory away from the Cascades in Abbotsford. Colburn takes a seat. Matu takes a seat. And Coach Jennings with some congratulations for his rookie center, who's, as I said, been banged around a lot by the Cascades so far. Hatch to McIntosh, turned around at the free throw line. Hanzuk fakes the shot, puts it on the floor. Assaf for three, it's no good. Hatch, the box out on Littman, and the putback is good for Shannon Hatch, the Swiss miss. Simovic with Hanzuk. The left hand gets some free reign. Under the bucket, Shayna Littman, the hoop and the harm. Cascades down another 13, and Littman can make it 12 with this free throw. Under 6 to play quarter. A little bit of a huddle for the Cascades. They're not going to rebound this and one. And Littman says, you don't have to. I got this, ladies. 5 fouls against the Dinos, none against the Cascades. A little bit of a zone look here for UFV to start things off. And it breaks down with Gali coming inside. Hatch to Hanzuk. Gali fakes the pass. Now off into the corner for Hatch. Assaf on the right hand through Williams. Over, off glass, count it, and center to the line. The second-year guard from Haaretz. Love to know if people are watching in Kiryatana to see Michal Asaf and the beautiful job she's doing here for the Dinos. Kananahara, they say, in the tribe. So this team, Freya Schmidt's British. Shannon Hatch is Swiss. Redshirting is Maria Masser Puig, and she's Spanish. Coach Jennings, another import for the Dinos, and quite the multicultural team. Gali on the Cascade miss. Here's Hanzuk, the left hand on the baseline, runs right into Sarah Simovic. Is that a block or a charge? It's a charge on Hanzuk. Cascades have possession. Hanzuk checks out. Matu checks in. Second foul on Hanzuk. Here's Simovic. Littman posting up on Hatch, gets some room, the hook is good, and the Cascades are in business. And that's what it looks like to score down low for UFV. Shayna Littman, 2 good trips. And if she can keep doing that, the Cascades have a chance to get themselves back into this game. I wouldn't say they're there yet. 42-30 for 3 from Gali. It's no good, and Sartori, a long rebound at the elbow. McIntosh makes Sartori pick up the dribble. Here's Zawada to Littman again, and why not go right back to it? Another fader, no good, And still a good look for Shayna Littman. Golly, trying to get inside. Sartori commits the foul. And here she is on the ground. Sartori, that will be just her second personal foul so far tonight. Second team foul. She's got her hands on her face. Team's watching over. Is that her shouting? Doesn't look like she wants to get up right now. Littman and Zawada are helping her. Is that Kaylee Sartori laughing? As she... We're going to see Amanda Thompson come in. Sartori is limping off. Probably just has to stretch that leg out. Speaking with Tyne Campbell, head athletic therapist here at UFV. Matu to Gali. And here's Matu back with it. McIntosh. Zawada coming up on Gali. Gets inside the key and a travel. 3 steps after she stepped down in the key, and the Cascades break after break after break after break after break. They're being handed by the Dinos. What are they going to do with it? Under 4:20 to play in this third quarter. Simovic with Matu. The screen from Claggett. Simovic wanted to take a look at a shot there, I think. Littman to, is that Zawada? It is, and a foul from behind. Is McIntosh? No, that's a 3 in the key. Thank you, Mrs. Billingsley. Taylor Claggett got caught. McIntosh at the free throw line to Assaf. Between the legs. Gali. Hatch for 3. Oh, it's good. Bessetter, says Assaf. Oh, she likes that assist. Under 4 to play. 15-point Dino lead. Zawada. Claggett. Blocked by, looks like that was Matu. Golly, trying to get ahead of everybody. Picks up a high dribble, and Jessica Zawada didn't need to commit that foul. It's the third team foul against the Cascades. But he's Zawada's first. 2 shots for Gali. Seabrook comes back in. You hear the cheer from the North Van faithful. Paying that toll. If you come through the Lougheed, do you need to pay the toll? Is there a toll? I don't know. If they took Highway 1, they paid a toll to come from North Van. Gali misses the first. The second is no good. Is good. 3:32 left to play. No good for the Cascades. They're down 16. Matu defending on Simovic. Simovic passes to Zawada on the shoulder. Now a zone coming from the Dinos. Littman with Seabrook. Cross court to Zawada, and now in the corner for Claggett. Posting up and throws it over and back. Turnover for UFV. 3:10 left to play in the third quarter. And Simovic, she hasn't picked up any more fouls here in the second half. But the Cascades not really able to capitalize on having her back in it. Coach L wants a timeout coming up. Matu, Gali inside, and Seabrook off the back iron. Coming way in is Assaf, the guard. She's tough. Gets right back up. Cascades have the defensive board. Claggett, baseline with Seabrook, and fouled by Seabrook. She will shoot 2. Coach L does not want that timeout. Give Assaf a Metsuyan for effort coming in from the wing. A guard trying to pull down that board. Claggett misses. Oh, sinks it off the back iron. An ugly shot, high bounce, drops somehow. To make it a 14-point game, she will not. And Taylor Claggett maybe looks like she's feeling the fatigue. Gali. Matun back to Gali. Assaf. Matu puts it on the floor with the left hand, taking her time, gets through the screen from Seabrook, under the free throw line. No good. Matu forces a jump ball with Littman, both on the floor. Calgary possession. 2:33 left to go in the third quarter. Coach Al wants timeout right this second, and he gets it. Assaf, Matu, Seabrook, and McIntosh. Seabrook Inside the three-point line to Matu, 12 on the shot clock. Here's Gali, drops it and picks up her dribble. Again, the zone from the Cascades. Gali gets inside over Littman and drains the deuce bucket. Matu with Simovic. The screen from Claggett. Matu can't get through it. Littman to Zawada for three. Looks like she had to put something extra into it to get it over the outstretched arms of Gali. And if I'm the Dinos, I'm smelling a W tonight in Abbotsford. 48-31 the score. Again, at times in the first night, Cascades looked unmatched against this Calgary team earlier in the season when they visited in the regular season. Now foul, this should be against the Cascades. Goes against Simovic, it's her fourth. Fourth team foul. Victoria Jacobs comes in for UFE. Simovic will sit. Littman also coming out. Matu on the left hand with Jacobs. Cascade still repping that zone a little bit. Matu at the free throw line inside to Seabrook. She snuck underneath, and Jacobs picks up the loose ball after the rebound. Sartori stepping in and past McIntosh. Zawada loses it out of bounds. The turnover battle didn't look like it was getting out of hand after the second quarter. It looks like the Cascades had kind of corralled the ball, for lack of a better term. And it's starting to unravel for them. Minute 35 left to go in the third quarter. And the Dinos just building on their lead repeatedly. They've got the crowd on their side too. Look, a conductor and an orchestra with the little throw sticks. Claggett watches a teardrop go out of bounds to, I guess it was probably McIntosh was cutting the other way, and the pass went out. And here's Jacobs for the Cascades. The full court press on, as it has been all day. And Matu's got to be up around her steps total. Whatever her projected goal is per day, she's running up and down this court the entire way each time, following that full court press. Another turnover for the Dinos. 48-31 Calgary. Victoria Jacobs will again try to get a valuable possession for the Cascades. They need to start putting some points in the hoop. Shayna Littman, well, I thought she was going to come in. She's still on the pine. Here's Zawada for Jacobs. Between the circles with Matu. On the left hand, Zawada on the baseline. Off glass, it's good. Cascades down 15. And let's see if they can win this quarter with a stop here and another score. That's a travel against Gali. I think that's her third tonight. 37.4 seconds left. There's the stop. Can the Cascades get a score and win this third quarter? Little game within a game right now with such a big deficit for UFE to overcome. Sartori stepping on the line for two. It's short, well short. Gali with the board. And another scoring chance for the Dinos with the clock winding down. 19 on the shot clock. Assaf to Gali, wide open. Not thinking about it. Assaf is taking her sweet time. Hatch, the screen on Jacobs. Assaf gets off of it. Right-handed floater from the left side. She's pommeled by Claggett. It doesn't drop, but she will shoot two. It's Claggett's first foul tonight. 5.5 left to go. Assaf can make it a 50-33 game. And interesting to see what Coach Al does in terms of personnel in the fourth quarter, with Simovic having 4 fouls and $10 minutes. You wouldn't call that a reach yet. Second free throw is good, so Assaf's good for 2 from the line. Hazy Uffy. Victoria Jacobs, Sartori to beat the buzzer, and that is a block for Tori, who also has 5 rebounds. Claggett has 10 points, 7 boards. 15 turnovers for the Cascades to 14 for the Dinos. Simovic to Williams. Williams had a quick shot to get off if she catches that pass, but she did not. Mid-range from Shayna Littman, and it's good. Cascades back down to a 15-point lead. They lost the third quarter 17-15 after a 25-10 Calgary Dino second quarter. Ikulanga to Hatch, and now McIntosh up the three-point line. Here's Assaf. The cross, left hand in on Simovic, and out to Colburn for three. It's no good. And a rebound for Assaf. In all sorts of traffic, it's Cascades giving up the jump ball to Calgary. 14 on the shot clock. Cascades shooting 20.5% for the game. 9 for 44. 6.3 on 1 of 16 for three-point shooting. An abysmal shooting for performance for a team that comes in, statistically, the better shooting of the two teams by a little bit. And by a little, I mean fair bit. Assaf for three, no good. Hatch almost picks up that board, and it's kept alive by Colburn for Ikulanga. To Assaf. Looks like Assaf got fouled by Williams. No call. Here's McIntosh into Littman. The left hand is good from Aaron McIntosh. 6 points tonight. Simovic to Jacobs. Sartori and now Williams. Back to Sartori. Turns around on McIntosh. Spots up for two. Off the glass. I don't know if that's what she was looking for, but she got it. Assaf now. Giving Matu some rest on the bench. Kulanga to Hatch, and here's Colburn. At the elbow, turned back, the rookie for McIntosh. Here's Assaf, the second year. Cross on Simovic. Bounce pass to McIntosh under the bucket. Waits for the reach from, I think that was Simovic, and then sinks it. 17-point lead for the Dinos. Jacobs. Sartori. Here's Williams with Ikulanga. Sartori turns in and underhands that lay-in. She's got 15 all of a sudden, Sartori. Assaf inside makes some room, and nobody was stopping her from doing a thing. Stealth, just like Masad. Out of bounds, Dino ball. And the Cascades watching it fall apart here in the fourth quarter. Down 17, 7:42 left to play. An entire 40 left to play tomorrow. But the Cascades running out of time to make it anything but a do-or-die situation on Saturday night. The first time they would have faced a must-win game against Calgary at home. Colburn, the left hand, going into Sartori. Simovic bats it loose. And then Colburn, as Simovic tried to pass that ball off, gave it away to Matu. And what's the call here? I think the shot clock maybe didn't move. It was supposed to be a 14-second reset. It was a 24-second reset. Here's Matu. And Colburn now. Foul against Sid Williams off the ball. That is her, I'm going to say, that is her third. Inbound comes to Brianna Gali. Loose ball on the steal from Simovic to Sartori. Little stutter step from Simovic, and another one of those off glass, grows some fingernails and crawls over for Sartori. Give her 17 all of a sudden. Cascades still down 15. A swipe from Sartori, and I don't know what she's thinking there. They give continuation to McIntosh. Oh, that's actually against Taylor Claggett. Although Sartori gave a good wide slap to that ball, and it looked like she got mostly elbow. McIntosh, the and one is good. Back up to an 18-point lead now, the largest lead of the game for the Dinos. That's Colburn defending on Sartori. Here's Claggett with Williams for three. It's no good. Littman sandwiched between Hatch and Colburn. Couldn't come up with the board. No surprise. Gali. Matu. McIntosh drops it, picks up her dribble. Here's Gali for three from Hatch. It's no good. And Simovic has boards. 6.5 to play. The Cascades need a big run here. Amelia Worrell's going to check in. Williams for 3. Chases down her own board and can't get it from Matu, but the pass intended for Gali goes to Sarah Simovic. Simovic turned around on Matu. Littman trying to get the inside edge. Cross court to Claggett on the baseline. Pushed back by McIntosh and Shayna Littman off glass. Give Littman 9. Here's Gali in transition. Stepping into Claggett, shakes her off. Sartori gets a hand on that ball, and the Cascades make it a late push here. With a couple good defensive sets and some errors from the Dinos, can the Cascades turn this into legitimate momentum in what's right now a 16-point Dino game? Nope. Turnover, Cascades inside. Williams lost the handle on it. Here's McIntosh inside, little high dribble. Hatch right there with no Cascades. Both Simovic and Sartori followed McIntosh deep, and then they were under the baseline, couldn't get back to rebound. All Dinos there. Still an 18-point Dino game. Sartori inside, the reverse off glass is good for Canada West, reigning leading scorer coming in for the final 5 minutes and 18 seconds of this opening game, of this opening round of the opening season of Unified 17 Canada West 2016-17 season. Matu for 3, no good. Zawada, the rebound in front of Shayna Littman. Here's Simovic racing to make something happen. Cascades. Amelia Worrell looks in, an awkward little float that I don't think was intended necessarily to be a shot. It's rebounded by Assaf. Here's Matu to Assaf. Loses the handle. Worrell knocked it away from her. That's a foul against Amelia Worrell. Her first. Team third. Under 5 to play. And I'm sure if you told somebody that coming into this weekend, the Dinos hadn't won a playoff game in Abbotsford, they'd say, why are you lying to me? The Calgary Dinos basketball program has been shut out in Abbotsford in the playoffs. By who? The University of the Fraser Valley Cascades? And when they say that, they say Fraser Valley Cascades. Matu to the corner, 4-3. Assaf, her third. And a 19-point. Oh, they'll give her 2, actually. They won't give her the tray. Oh, yeah. No, that's 3. It's a 19-point lead. Taylor Claggett kicks it out to Worrell. Keeps the handle. Loses the dribble in front of Assaf. Bounce pass to Claggett. On the baseline with McIntosh. 5 on the shot clock. Posting up, turning around. High. Almost went glass, but it just careened off the rim and out. McIntosh in transition. Back to Matu. Here's Colburn. Inside all alone after Claggett came off to defend on the perimeter. Jessica Cameron's going to come in for UFV. Under 4 to play, and it's a 21-point Dino lead. All points to the Calgary Dinos. They've dominated in every aspect of this game. They've been the better shooters. They've been the better post defenders. Shayna Littman drains it. Contact, falls to the floor. No foul called. And Littman looks like she's okay. She's going to sub out for Jessica Cameron, though. Bree Wilcox checks back in for Calgary. As we see Hatch taking a seat. Do a little wipey poo over at the free throw line. With 3.5 left to go, the Cascades down 19 big points. And McIntosh will inbound for Matu. Defended by Simovic. Assaf. Wilcox, handoff to Assaf on the left hand inside the three-point line. Out to Cole. Sorry, that's McIntosh. Wilcox swinging around on the baseline. Here's McIntosh. On the right hand into Claggett on the switch. Matu open for 3 with Worrell in front of her. Trying to come and defend, and that's a long Matu goes right into the stands. Colburn with the tray, no good. Claggett Just kind of pickpockets the board away from McIntosh. A foul on Colburn as Claggett tries to come up over half court. It's the first foul against the Dinos here in the fourth quarter. Matu will take a seat. It's the fourth foul against Colburn. Hillary Anich, her second trip to the floor tonight for Calgary. Simovic, dribble low. The left hand trying to get around on Anich and knocked away by a pair of Dinos inside the paint. More turnovers for the Cascades. Anich, Assaf, the left hand, and McIntosh to Colburn with Jessica Cameron. Picks up the dribble, tries to make a pass off. It's out of bounds. Dino ball. Under 2.5 to play. UFV facing a 19-point deficit. The Dinos, they went 4 for 9 in the second, 2 for 5 in the third. And it was skyfall from there. Colburn inside the teardrop intended for Wilcox, and that's a shot clock violation against the Dinos. Some good defensive sets for the Cascades. And again, a lot of first opportunities for the Dinos not dropping, but that height advantage, the strong post play in general, good front court for the Dinos, keeping the Cascades off of the rebound. And there's a Taylor Claggett offensive rebound. Jump ball, Cascade possession. 2:06 left to go. They're 6 for 18, good for 1 for 3. 1 every 3 tries from behind the three-point line. And the number 13 three-point shooting team in Canada West, the UFV Cascades, they're 1 for 16. A totally abysmal night. And make it, well, at least one more. On the Sarah Simovic air ball, out of bounds, off of Hanzuk. Simovic. Inbounds over Anich. And that's a foul against Equalunga. Looked like it might have been a 5-second violation. First foul against Equalunga. Second against Calgary in this fourth quarter. Under 2 to play. Cascades down a big 19 points. Jessica Cameron to Sarah Simovic. No good on the mid-range jumper. And 66-47 on CanadaWest.tv. I haven't been giving you the CanadaWest.tv shout-outs. I will shout out Lucas Meyer of the Calgary Dinos in-game broadcast team. He does a great job. A lot of fun to listen to on a weekly basis. And I'm sorry that Wayne Thomas gave you such a hard time for talking about movies in that 40-point blowout where your Calgary Dinos embarrassed our UFV Cascades in night 1 before winning only by 5 in night 2. So between the 2 nights, it was something like a 43-point difference in favor of the Dinos for the men's game. But the second night, Cascades only lost by 5, and it was down by like 2 or 3 in the closing seconds. Cascade Nation this year will remember the ill-fated Denver Sparks guest air ball 3-point basket with seconds left to play when the Cascades were just within reach of tying it up and making a game of it. 1 for 2 is Jessica Zawada from the line. Minute 5 left to go. Equalunga in front of Worrell. Just whips it inside, bit of a Hail Mary again. And Equalunga then out to the baseline for Anich, and then the rebound careens down low. It's going to be Equalunga and Claggett fighting for the loose ball. A jump ball goes Calgary way. 50.4 left to go. And again, this Cascades team, to say that they're 12-8 this season, hosting a playoff series, I mean, that's an accomplishment for this team. A team that did not expect, well, for certain, I don't think anybody thought they'd be hosting a playoff game. To say they would make the playoffs, okay, this team always wants to make the playoffs. This is their 8th time in a row. But to say that they were going to host a playoff game, not bringing Katie Brink back, really effective post player for UFV in the past, not bringing their point guard, Kate Head, back, who had a huge breakout season last year. Foul against Sarah Simovic. She's out. Nobody would have predicted that the Cascades would have had the kind of winning season. First of all, a winning season that they've had. Second of all, to be winning and hosting a playoff series. Definitely didn't look like he was in the cards at the start of the season. But U of V's really battled. And I don't know if that makes it more or less disappointing to be kind of busted over here in game one of this playoff series against a Dino team that they split with back in January. Now again, men's team lost by nearly 40 points to Calgary on Friday in January. And then on Saturday night, it was like a 5-point game. So no telling what happens on Saturday. But U of V really needs to find a way to contend with the front court of this Calgary Dinos offense. Because after those early post problems reared their head for Calgary, the backcourt took over with Brianna Galley scoring at will from behind the three-point line. Foul charge to Wilcox, her third. Jacobs will inbound from the baseline with 2.3 seconds left. Finds Claggett. She'll put it up for a 2-point look, and the Cascades drop the opening night of playoff